What's up, everyone? It's Nick from Team Nitro YGO here, and I am exhausted. But I just wrapped up my remote duel locals for the week, and I got top 4 for 12 packs of Blazing Vortex, and I played Salamangreat. So let me quickly run through my matchups for y'all. Round 1 was Dogma, Invoked, Shaddoll. I 2-0'd it. Game 1, they just bricked. I wasn't really able to do anything. Game 2, I was able to interact with the window and play the game. Round 2 was Mathmech. I 2-0'd it. My opponent just... I don't know. It was weird. Like, I don't think they had a firm understanding of what their deck did. They were just, like, in the mindset of Final Sigma go burr, and I just, like, never let them do that. Round 3 was Zoo Eldlich. They 2-0'd me. Game 1, I just didn't draw any interactive cards, so I just, like, died to Zeus. And then Game 2, I drew too many interactive cards and no salad cards, so I didn't get to play. Round 4 was Dragon Link. They 2-1'd me. I would have won Game 1 if I just didn't misplay like a fucking moron. I held my Ash for too long, and they were able to make a big board. There's nothing I could do. And round 5 was Glue Woo, a.k.a. Dragoon Subterror. Turns out that deck doesn't do anything if it doesn't draw Subterror cards. So, yeah. Like, they flipped Summon Limit on me Game 1. I Foxied it and won. Game 2, they put a Mystic Mine on me. I Cosmic Cycloned it. They negated it with Fiendus. And then I chained Solemn Strike to the Fiendus, and the game ended, so... in the quarterfinals, it was the same Dragon Link component from round 4. I 2-0'd them once again because I actually drew interactive cards. And they got a little bit unlucky with me on their danger effect. And then the semifinals was Prank Kids, which I lost 2-2-0. I just have no cards for that deck, which is something I'd probably change going forward about the deck because I'd play some Prank Kids hate. But as always, if you're interested in the deck list, it is just in the description of this video, so you can go click right there and you can have access to it. But if you're interested in some card analysis and some card choices, then stick around. So let's quickly run through this, because it is in fact 2 in the morning and I want to go to bed. So the main deck, obviously, we got the 1 Gazelle, the 2 Spinny, the 2 Foxy, the 2 Jaguar, and the 1 Falco. So these cards this is a pretty standard salad lineup for the most part. I know some lists aren't playing Foxy. I think that's wrong. I think Eldlich is one of the better decks. So you need to have respect for it. Like, all of these are just super versatile. Like Gazelle's obviously your best one because it gets you any of them. Spinny's an extender, Foxy's removal, Jaguar's recursion. Falco is the best one by far, obviously. This is like my favorite card in the deck. It's so good. And then for my starter of choice, I know like this is going to ruffle some feathers, but I'm still playing Buffalo. I think with the way that you have to build the deck right now, you just need to play Buffalo. Debug is just too fragile of a card, even though it makes your deck more consistent. You're never going to be able to fully resolve its effect to get max value out of it. You just have to play cards that let you play the game. So, like, even though this card's like a very mediocre starter in context of the rest of the format, you just have to play cards that let you play the game, which is why I'm playing Buffalo. Because it's so much more likely for you to have a Cyberse monster than it is for them to not have a hand trap to interact with your debug. So, and then this was the card I was the least sure about going into the local. After playing with it, I think it's okay. I don't think I'd play it going forward, but at least I consider it more often. Triple Parallel Exceed. So the theory behind this card was that going first, you can make an Abyss Dweller, which floodgates the rest of the format out of playing. And going second, this card just kills your opponent. So I realized that the way that I need to play the deck in the format, and I think the way that people should play the deck in the format, is kind of just like you kind of play it a little like oh, hold on, excuse me. You play it a bit like a magical musket deck or a pendulum deck, where going first, you're just trying to set up as many interactions as possible, and then if you're forced to go second, you just use hand traps to disrupt them, and then you kill them with like 2 cards. So this card lets you do both. Like, it was the most middling card in the deck for sure, but it definitely came up and it had its uses. So, like I said, I don't know if I play it going forward. I might consider playing other cards over it, but it was fine for this local. And then moving on to my hand traps, I played 12. I played 3 Ash because it's super recurable in this deck. It's a fire monster. It's level 3. It has a ton of synergy. Triple Impermanence because I just need to be able to answer window. Normally I wouldn't play this card, but you need to be able to answer window in this format, so that's why I'm playing the Impermanence. The best card in my main deck was Triple Lancia. This card was fucking nice all night. Like, against the Dogma player, it ended their turn. You're able to convert it against Dragon Link. Even against the Zodiac Eldlich deck, being able to floodgate them out of their Eldlich cards for 1 turn can give you a turn to kill them. The last hand trap is 3 Nibiru. This one, pretty underperformed, really. I didn't get to use it as much as I would have liked to, for sure. Still a very powerful hand trap, and it's a card where if your opponent doesn't respect it, it does just lose them the game. So I don't know. I think I cut it going forward. I think I might consider playing Ghost Bell over this for the Prank Kids matchup. I'd consider it at least. So that's it for the monsters. On to the spell cards. Triple Mining and Triple Desires. We're just trying to max out consistency in our deck here. We want to make sure that we're able to play the game. And these cards are facilitators to help you do that. For extenders, I'm playing 2 Will. You could get away with playing 3 of this card. If you wanted to, you could cut the Upstart and play 3 Will. Oh, what's my bad? Give me just 1 second here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having some difficulties. So yeah, like I was saying, you could easily just cut the... You could easily cut the Upstart here and play 3 Will. If you just wanted to have access to an extender every single turn. Or every single game, rather. But this card is kind of a brick if you're not already playing the game. And I like to think of this more of multi-roll than I do of an extender, where you're just using it to get 1 card back every turn, and then eventually you just get back 4 cards and win. So... And then the 1 Circle and the 1 Sanctuary, obviously you have to play these cards. There's no disruption. And then these are the 2 Flut slots in the deck, are the Upstart and the Reborn. So I like playing a 39 card deck, which is why I'm playing the Upstart. The Reborn overperformed. This card was fucking insane. This just gets to revive any boss monster from either player's graveyard. You can snag the Dragoon. You can snag... Oh, fuck. You can snag the Borreload Savage. You can just snag anything with this card. This thing was ridiculous. I'm very happy that I played it. And then the 1 Roar and the 1 Rage. These are in the cases where you have to play the grind game against decks. Where they're trying to control the tempo of the game and you seem to have recursive resources. So, honestly, I thought about not playing these cards. I thought about just playing a build where you're going second and you're just playing literally 15 hand traps. And you open 2 salad cards and you win the game. So, but there are decks that want to play long, and you can still punish decks for playing long, so I wanted to play these cards. So that's it for the main deck. It was 40. I was very happy with it. The only thing I would change is maybe Nibiru for Ghost Bell, and I'd consider playing other cards over Parallel Exceed. I might play an actual trap instead of it, but I'm not sure. For the extra decks, pre-stock, Triple Malinx, Triple Wolf, Double Helio. This just isn't changing anytime soon. These are just your stock 8 salads that you have to play. For the rest of the extra decks, Splash Mage as part of your access code line, Phoenix to help you interact with spell and traps, and then Jammer, Transcode, Access Code. This is just super obvious. Until we get a more efficient win condition, you have to play these cards. If for some reason you still don't have an Access Code talker, play Topologic Zero Boros instead of it, because it's a Cyberburst monster, it has a ton of synergy with the deck. But Access Code is absolutely ridiculous. Neither player can respond to it. It's just a big dumb idiot. It's going to be able to attack twice through Update Jammer. This is the only reason to play this deck, is because you're the best deck in the format at abusing Access Code talker. And then I played 2 rank 4s in my extra deck. I played the Abyss Dweller, obviously, because it's a floodgate against the entirety of the format. If you make this going first against every deck, the game is over. And then I played Baguska. This card actually kind of overperformed for me. Going second against combo, if you open Parallel Exceed, you can just bait out the negate. Or you can bait out one of their negates to make this, and then the whole board goes to defense. And now you basically get 2 free turns to play. Because they're usually not going to have a card in their extra deck to out it. They could, Heretic Seal. They can Heretic Seal and bounce it back in Dragon Link's case. But, Zoo can't attack while this card's on board. Virtual World can't do anything with it on board. The PK deck, they can't really do much on board. Obviously, they can still float with the links and stuff, but they can't do anything with the fusions, which is what you really care about. So, yeah, this card actually overperformed me. It was actually okay. So, that's it for the extra deck. The only thing I would change is you could maybe cut the Splash Mage for something. But this card randomly comes up as an extender sometimes in some combo lines, so I'm not sure if I'd cut it. Moving on to the side deck, Triple Gamma and the Driver. I just wanted a super impactful hand trap going second. This was the only one I could think of to play. Yeah, nothing more to say about that. It's Gamma. This card's super powerful. It does conflict a little bit with Desires, but you're only boarding it going second, so you don't have to worry about, ending up with monsters on board or having to, play Lambda or anything, so... And then Triple Droplet. This card's nice in this deck. You don't care about pitching cards to it, and just being able to play going second to help you push for Dragoon, or not for Dragoon, for Access Code, super nice. Super, super nice. This card was very good. I wouldn't play Dark Ruler because you need to be able to kill them. I'd just play another hand trap. I would probably play Droll on Lockbird or something. You could even try Mystic Mine if you wanted over this, just as a going second card to help you beat negation. Because once you bait the Omni Negate, you can play Mystic Mine. So I'd consider that. For the back row decks of the format, Triple Cosmic, Pank, and Feather Duster. I didn't play Red Reboot in this deck because in the rare cases where you can't kill them, I don't like giving them resources, and I don't want to have to be in suboptimal play lines where, like, instead of killing them after red rebooting them, I, like, Phoenix away a card and then Heat Leo back row. I'd rather just win the game, so I'd rather just play, like, these like, lower impact cards that are just of higher quality than red reboot is. So I played these 5, and then, so how many cards have I showed so far? 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. And then the last 3 cards on my side deck were 3 Solemn Strike. I just wanted something for when I knew I was going first against combo decks. I wanted a card that would just end their turn automatically for the most part, and this was the one that I chose. This card was very, very good for me tonight at this local. Like, this card just overperformed. Like, against the Zoo Eldlich player, being able to hit the Zeus basically won me the game. Well, I ended up losing, but it won me the game in this fact of, like, they were just down 7 resources for the rest of the game. Like, they weren't able to have access to those monsters in their extra deck. In the quarterfinal against Dragon Link, I was able to Solemn Strike a Borreload Savage that I couldn't equip anything, and I was also able to Solemn Strike the Heretic Seal to summon from deck, which gave me enough tempo to win. Like, this card was just very, very good for me. If you wanted to play Judgment over this, I could see that, but I wanted to have a card that at least, like, because you can at least board this in going second, and it's not, like, completely terrible, whereas Judgment, you have to only bring it in going first. But, yeah, this card was good. I don't know if I'd run this card back, but it was pretty good. Like, I can't say it wasn't. Like, this card was very solid. But anyway, that's going to do it for this deck list. Overall, I think Salad's, like, in a very middling position in the format. Like, this deck just doesn't... Your grind game isn't as good as Eldlich's. Your OTK potential isn't as good as something like some other combo decks in the format. And, like, it's just a deck where your ceiling is so low and your ability to grind isn't as good as it used to be. So, like, you're basically leveraging the fact that, like, the access code's broken, and this is, like, how you're winning every game. So, it is a super fun deck. I think that the edge you get from playing this deck is that you just get to play, like, literally a million hand traps in your deck. So, you can just always be sure that even if you're not playing the game at the highest caliber, your opponent's not playing either. And this deck still does thrive at simplifying the game state. If you're in a very simple game state with only, like, 1 or 2 cards, and you're looping Ash every turn, then the game is just over for your opponent. So you do still have that going for you. But yeah, I just think that this deck lacks explosivity, and it lacks the ability to actually play a really good grind game that I haven't been playing as much in the format. I played it for this local because I wanted to try something new, and I was pretty sick and tired of playing Eldritch Mirrors, so I wanted to play something. And I'm very glad I played this deck. It reminds me of all the fun I had playing with it during 2019 format. So I can't say I'm unhappy with it. I do like my list, though. Like I said, I think the only changes I would make is I would change Nibiru for Ghost Bell, and I would maybe find room for some other cards in the side deck. I'd maybe consider playing more trap cards. I'd maybe consider even playing like Droll and Lockbird in the deck, but I'm still not sold on any of those ideas. I would need to do some more testing. But like I stated earlier, if you just want the deck list, it is going to be in the description of this video, along with my Facebook and my Twitter. Go follow me, go friend me. I post some cool stuff, and that's going to do it for this deck profile. Thank y'all so much for watching. My name is Nick from Team Nitro YGO, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a good one.